What if I told you that the story of Ty Borden isn't over? That the man whose sudden death shattered millions of hearts might still hold a shocking secret that could change everything in Heartland Season 19? For years, fans have held on to hope, whispers, and theories. And now, new revelations suggest that Ty's story might not be as finished as we thought. The truth about his return is more complicated, more emotional, and more shocking than anyone expected. When Graham Wardle decided to leave Heartland, no one could have predicted the emotional storm that would follow. Ty Borden wasn't just another character. He was the beating heart of the show, Amy Fleming's partner in love, in hardship, and in healing. His departure in Season 14, written as a sudden and tragic death from a blood clot, felt final. For many fans, it was a wound that never fully healed. Viewers mourned as if they had lost a friend, and the very soul of Heartland seemed to vanish with him. But even as the series moved forward, the shadow of Ty lingered. Amy's grief, Lindy's questions, and the audience's longing for closure kept his presence alive. And now, with whispers about Season 19 hinting at his shocking return, the question that burns in every fan's heart is simple. How could this be possible? To understand the weight of this possibility, we need to revisit the way Ty's story ended. In Season 13, he and Amy were shot by a poacher, an act of violence that left fans shaken but relieved when both survived. Yet, what followed in Season 14 was a devastating twist. Ty collapsed from a blood clot, a delayed complication from that very shooting. His death was portrayed with a chilling realism, leaving Amy widowed and Lindy fatherless. The audience was not just surprised, it was blindsided. Heartland had always been a show about resilience and healing, but the loss of Ty felt like an ending too cruel to accept. Still, as the seasons rolled on, fans never stopped asking, never stopped hoping. Could Ty somehow return? Theories began to spread like wildfire. Some believed that Ty never actually died, that his collapse was a misdiagnosis, a tragic mistake that separated him from his family but left him alive somewhere else. Others suggested that his death was part of a larger plan, a way to protect Amy and Lindy from hidden dangers we never saw on screen. And then there were the dreamers, those who believed Ty could return in visions, memories, or even in a storyline that rewinds time. Every possibility was discussed, debated, and cherished by a fan base that refused to let him go. What makes these theories even more powerful is the fact that Heartland itself has never truly erased Ty's presence. His memory is woven into every storyline that follows. Amy's struggles, Jack's reflections, and Lindy's growth are all marked by the absence of Ty. But absence is not the same as disappearance. His name is spoken, his legacy honored, and his spirit continues to guide the characters. That constant reminder keeps the door cracked open for something bigger, something unexpected, and then came the whispers from behind the scenes. Graham Wardle, once clear about his decision to leave, has remained supportive of the show and its fans. Yet his words have always carried a note of mystery. He has said he wanted to step away to focus on personal growth, to explore life beyond acting. But he never closed the door entirely. In interviews and podcasts, his tone has been one of gratitude, curiosity, and openness. For fans who hang on every detail, this left room for hope. Could it be that Wardle, after years away, has chosen to return and step back into Ty's boots? Season 19 is being painted as a season of transformation, a renewal of the spirit of Heartland. And for some, that renewal would not be complete without Ty Borden. Whether through flashbacks, visions, or something far more shocking, his presence in the new season feels almost inevitable. After all, Heartland has never been afraid to surprise its audience, to break hearts, and then piece them back together. Again. And if Ty does return, it won't just be another twist. It will be the most powerful moment in the history of the series. So as we step into this new chapter, the question becomes not whether Ty will return, but how. Will it be a fleeting glimpse from the past, a guiding vision for Amy and Lindy, or something much larger? Something that rewrites everything we thought we knew? The answers are coming in Season 19, and they promise to be nothing short of shocking. The idea of Ty Borden returning to Heartland might sound impossible, but if we look closely, the pieces begin to fall into place. Heartland has always been more than just a family drama. It is a story about resilience, faith, and the mysterious ways life unfolds. Throughout its run, the series has embraced unexpected twists. Horses that seemed beyond saving found new life. Relationships that appeared broken were mended, and characters who looked lost discovered their way back home. With that in mind, is it really unthinkable that Ty's story could take one more turn? For years, fans have replayed the events of season 14, searching for clues. Ty's collapse came suddenly, without warning, and for some viewers, it felt incomplete. As though there were details missing. How could a man who appeared to have healed so completely be taken so abruptly? Could the doctors have been wrong? Was there more happening behind the scenes that the family never knew? These unanswered questions are what fuel the belief that Ty's death may not have been as final as it seemed. One of the most compelling theories is the idea that Ty was taken away for reasons no one could share. Imagine the possibility of a hidden struggle, perhaps connected to the shooting that nearly claimed his life earlier. Some fans speculate that Ty was forced into hiding for his own safety, or even for the protection of Amy and Lindy. The notion might sound far-fetched, but in the world of Heartland, where loyalty and sacrifice define every character, it carries a powerful weight. Ty has always been willing to put others before himself. What if his disappearance was the ultimate act of protection? Even the writers of the series have left doors open, whether intentionally or not. In later seasons, Amy speaks of Ty often, not just as a memory, but as though he is still present in her journey. Lindy's innocence adds another layer. Children often express feelings in ways that seem uncanny, almost spiritual. When Lindy talks about her father, it doesn't always sound like she's speaking of someone gone forever. It feels more like she senses him close by, guiding her. For fans, these moments are more than lines in a script. They are hints, small pieces of evidence that Ty's connection to Heartland is not broken. Then there's Wardle himself. While he stepped away from the show, he has never stepped away from the conversation. In his podcasts, interviews, and interactions with fans, he has spoken with honesty, but also with an openness that leaves room for hope. He has said that his departure was about growth, about exploring a new chapter in his personal life. Yet, he has never dismissed the possibility of returning. He has acknowledged the deep bond he shares with the fans and the special place Heartland holds in his heart. For those who believe in his return, these words are more than just polite acknowledgments. They are a quiet promise. Season 19 arrives at a moment when the show itself needs renewal. While Heartland remains beloved, many viewers have felt the absence of the energy Ty once brought. Amy's healing, though powerful, has left a void that no one has completely filled. Characters like Sam have offered new directions, but for fans, nothing compares to the unique partnership between Amy and Ty. If there was ever a time for the writers to bring Ty back, whether in spirit, in flashback, or in something far more shocking, this is the moment. The suspense grows when we remember how Heartland has always honored its audience. The show respects the emotions of its fans, never rushing them through grief or forcing them to accept change too quickly. That same respect could mean that the writers have been carefully preparing us for Ty's reappearance, laying the groundwork slowly, quietly, until the timing felt right. And now, after seasons of mourning, after years of waiting, season 19 feels like the perfect storm. Still, the biggest mystery remains. If Ty does return, how will the writers make it believable? Will they reveal that he never truly died, that circumstances forced him away only to resurface now? Or will his return be more spiritual, with Ty guiding Amy and Lindy in moments of crisis? Each possibility carries its own shock, its own emotional punch, and fans are left guessing which path Heartland will choose. But one thing is certain, if Ty Borden does reappear, it will not just be another plot twist. It will be the moment that redefines the series, the revelation that changes everything we thought we knew about Heartland. If Ty Borden truly does return in season 19, the impact will be nothing short of explosive, not just for Amy and Lindy, but for the entire Heartland family. His presence has always been more than one man's role in a story. It has been the glue that holds so many lives together. Think about it. Ty's journey from a troubled young man to a devoted husband, father, and healer mirrored the very spirit of Heartland itself. His comeback, in whatever form it takes, would send shockwaves across the ranch and reignite the emotional heartbeat of the series. For Amy, the possibility of Ty's return is almost unimaginable. She has spent years rebuilding her life, learning to carry the unbearable weight of his absence. Her strength has been remarkable, raising Lindy, carrying on her work with horses, and discovering her independence. Yet beneath that resilience lies a grief that never truly fades. Every decision she has made since his death has been shaped by the love they shared and the loss she endured. If Ty reappears, whether alive against all odds or in a form that defies expectation, Amy's world would be turned upside down once again. Would she embrace hope, or would the pain of reopening old wounds be too much to bear? Then there is Lindy, the daughter who has grown up hearing stories about her father. To her, Ty has been more of a legend than a living presence. Someone she knows through Amy's words, through family memories, and through the quiet strength she carries within herself. Imagine the shock, the joy, the confusion if her father were suddenly back in her life. For Lindy, such a moment could be the turning point that defines her future. The bond between father and daughter, cut short too soon, would have a chance to grow again, filling the gap that shaped her early years. It's a storyline so emotional, so raw, that fans cannot help but long to see it unfold. The ripple effects wouldn't stop there. Jack Bartlett, the steady heart of the Heartland family, has always carried the weight of protecting those he loves. He mourned Ty deeply, not just as a grandson-in-law, but as the young man he watched transform into someone honorable and dependable. Ty's return would challenge Jack's understanding of life, fate, and faith. Lou, Tim, and the rest of the family would face their own emotional reckonings, grappling with disbelief, joy, and the daunting task of rewriting years of grief in a single moment. And yet, with all the hope that Ty's return inspires, it also raises a chilling question. What would it cost? Heartland has never been a show about easy answers. Every triumph comes with challenges, every joy with heartbreak. If Ty does walk back into Heartland, his journey will not be simple. There must be reasons for his absence, explanations that could shake the very foundation of the family. Perhaps he was forced into hiding. Perhaps he was fighting a battle no one knew about. Or perhaps his return is not of the flesh, but of the spirit. A guiding presence that helps Amy and Lindy through their darkest moments. Each possibility carries both beauty and pain, hope and fear. Fans are torn between two powerful emotions, the desperate wish to see Ty again, and the dread of being let down by something that feels unworthy of his legacy. Heartland's writers know this, and that is what makes the suspense so intense. They must balance the dreams of millions of viewers with the reality of storytelling. Ty cannot simply walk back onto the ranch as though nothing happened. His reappearance must feel earned, believable, and emotionally true. And that is what makes the promise of Season 19 so electrifying. The very fact that fans are asking these questions, debating, theorizing, hoping, shows just how deeply Ty Borden remains embedded in the soul of Heartland. His absence has been the story, his presence still felt in every scene. Season 19 could be the season where that presence takes form again, shocking us all, breaking our hearts once more, and then piecing them back together in the way only Heartland can. The closer we look at Heartland Season 19, the clearer it becomes that the writers are preparing us for something extraordinary. For years, the show has been carefully walking a delicate line, honoring Ty's memory while slowly opening the door to new beginnings. But even with Amy's journey of healing, with Lindy's growth, and with new characters entering the story, one truth remains unshakable. Ty's presence is still at the very center of Heartland. And now, whispers of his shocking return are louder than ever. So what is the truth behind Ty Borden's return? To answer that, we must first understand how deeply his story is woven into the fabric of the series. Ty was never just Amy's husband or Lindy's father. He represented change, redemption, and the belief that broken lives could be healed. His journey from a troubled youth to a man of honor mirrored the journey of Heartland itself. That's why his death felt almost unbearable. It wasn't just a character leaving, it was the soul of the series being torn away. And it's why the very idea of his return feels both impossible and inevitable at the same time. Behind the scenes, fans have noticed subtle choices that fuel this belief. The writers continue to mention Ty in conversations, flashbacks, and emotional reflections. Unlike other shows where a character is written off and forgotten, Heartland refuses to let Ty fade. Every time Amy speaks his name, every time Lindy remembers him, it feels as if the show is reminding us that Ty's story is not finished. Add to that the fact that Wardle himself has never closed the door on a comeback, and the suspense becomes almost unbearable, But here's where the shocking truth begins to emerge. Ty's return may not be the straightforward miracle fans are hoping for. Heartland has always been a show grounded in realism, where grief, love, and healing are portrayed with honesty. If Ty reappears, it is unlikely to be a simple resurrection. Instead, his return could take many forms, each one carrying its own emotional weight. He could come back in powerful flashbacks, revealing untold parts of his story that reshape how we view his death. He could appear in Amy's visions or dreams, guiding her through critical moments, offering wisdom that changes the course of her life. Or, and this is the most shocking possibility of all, Ty might never have died in the first place, with season 19 finally unveiling the truth behind his disappearance. Imagine the shock if Amy and the Heartland family discovered that Ty's death was not what it seemed. What if the blood clot that supposedly ended his life was part of a larger misdirection? What if Ty had been taken away for reasons beyond his control, kept hidden, and only now, years later, finds his way back? The heartbreak, the anger, the overwhelming joy of such a revelation would shake Heartland to its core. For Amy, it would mean that all her years of grief were built on a lie. For Lindy, it would mean gaining the father she believed she had lost forever. And for the audience, it would be the most shocking twist in the history of the show. Still, even if Ty's return takes a different path, through visions, memories, or spiritual guidance, it would be no less powerful. Heartland has always been about finding strength in love, even when those we love are no longer physically with us. Ty appearing in this way would still remind Amy and Lindy that his love is eternal, that his influence continues to shape their lives. It would reassure fans that Ty's place in Heartland is not just in the past, but in the present and the future as well. The suspense surrounding season 19 is built on this uncertainty. No one knows exactly how Ty will return, but the signs are there, the hints are undeniable, and the emotional groundwork has already been laid. This is why fans are holding their breath, waiting for the moment when the truth is finally revealed. Because no matter how it happens, Ty Borden's return, whether real, symbolic, or something in between, will be the moment that changes everything. As we stand on the edge of Heartland Season 19, one question refuses to fade. Is Ty Borden really gone? Or is the story we were told only part of the truth? This question has haunted fans since the moment he collapsed in Season 14, and it continues to echo louder with every passing season. Now, with the whispers of his shocking return, the anticipation has reached a fever pitch. And whether Ty reappears in flesh, in memory, or in spirit, the impact will redefine Heartland forever. If Ty does return alive, the shockwaves will be unparalleled. The series would need to unravel years of grief, rewriting Amy's journey, Lindy's childhood, and even the choices of the entire family. Such a revelation would force every character to face their deepest emotions: joy at having him back, anger at the years of silence, confusion about why this truth was hidden for so long. The audience, too, would be shaken to the core. It would be the kind of twist people talk about for decades, a moment that transforms a beloved series into something unforgettable. But even if Ty does not walk back onto the ranch alive, his return in other forms could be equally powerful. Imagine Season 19 bringing lost pieces of his story to light, letters he wrote, recordings he left behind, or flashbacks that reveal secrets we never knew. Such moments would not only keep his legacy alive, but also give Amy and Lindy new strength to move forward. Or perhaps Ty's return comes through visions and dreams, where his presence guides Amy in her darkest hours. Heartland has always balanced realism with deep emotion, and this path would allow the show to honor Ty without erasing the pain of his loss. The truth is, Ty Borden's presence has never left Heartland. His memory is stitched into every episode, every choice Amy makes, every lesson Jack shares, and every step Lindy takes as she grows into her future. His spirit has remained the guiding force of the series, reminding us that love does not end with death, and that family bonds can stretch beyond time itself. In many ways, Ty never truly left. He has been here all along, shaping the story from beyond the edges of the screen. But even if Ty does not walk back onto the ranch alive, his return in other forms could be equally powerful. Imagine Season 19 bringing lost pieces of his story to light, letters he wrote, recordings he left behind, or flashbacks that reveal secrets we never knew. Such moments would not only keep his legacy alive, but also give Amy and Lindy new strength to move forward. Or perhaps Ty's return comes through visions and dreams, where his presence guides Amy in her darkest hours. Heartland has always balanced realism with deep emotion, and this path would allow the show to honor Ty without erasing the pain of his loss. The truth is, Ty Borden's presence has never left Heartland. His memory is stitched into every episode, every choice Amy makes, every lesson Jack shares, and every step Lindy takes as she grows into her future. His spirit has remained the guiding force of the series, reminding us that love does not end with death, and that family bonds can stretch beyond time itself. In many ways, Ty never truly left. He has been here all along, shaping the story from beyond the edges of the screen. This is why the suspense of Season 19 is so electrifying. Fans are not simply waiting for another season of Heartland, they are waiting for answers. Will Ty return in the most shocking way imaginable, rewriting everything we thought we knew? Or will his presence be felt in subtler, more spiritual ways, reminding us that even in grief, there is love, and even in endings, there is hope? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. Season 19 holds the potential to deliver the most emotional, heart-stopping revelations in the history of the series. So now the stage is set, and the question hangs heavier than ever. Will Ty Borden truly return in Season 19, or will his presence linger only in memory and spirit? Heartland has always been a story of love, loss, and hope, and this next season may be the one that changes everything. What do you think? Is Ty's shocking return the twist we've all been waiting for, or is the truth even more surprising than we imagine? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your theories. And don't forget to stay with us, because the journey into Season 19 is only just beginning.